There are moments in reality TV that leave you absolutely speechless, and for fans of Sister Wives, you know exactly what I'm talking about. One day, the Brown family seemed to be holding it together, at least on the surface, but then everything shifted. It wasn't just another argument or a dramatic confessional. It was a moment that exposed the cracks that had been growing for years, a moment that changed the way we saw the family forever. Suddenly, the image of unity and trust that the Browns had worked so hard to present was shattered, and the truth about what was really happening behind closed doors came rushing out for everyone to see. Hey friends, I'm Aliva, and you're watching TLC's Sister Wives Secret. If you're as obsessed with the twists and turns of this family as I am, make sure you hit that subscribe button and drop your thoughts in the comments below. I want to know, did you see this coming? Or were you just as shocked as the rest of us? Let's set the stage. At the heart of this story are 5 people whose lives have played out in front of millions. Kody, the husband who always seemed to be juggling more than just relationships. Meri, the first wife, who's weathered more storms than anyone should have to. Janelle, the steady and practical one, always trying to keep the peace. Christine, whose journey from heartbreak to independence has inspired so many, and Robyn, the last wife to join, who was once seen as the peacemaker, but would soon become the center of the storm. What happened next wasn't just a family fight, it was a betrayal that would shake the foundation of everything the Browns had built, and it all played out right in front of our eyes. From the very beginning, Robyn Brown was introduced to viewers as the gentle force who wanted nothing more than harmony in the family. On camera, she was the one who cried the most, who spoke softly about her hopes for unity, and who always seemed to be caught in the middle of the other wives' conflicts. TLC's editing often painted her as the peacemaker, the one who just wanted everyone to get along. She talked about her struggles to fit in, her desire to be accepted, and the pain she felt when the other wives kept her at arm's length. For years, fans saw Robyn as the victim of jealousy and misunderstanding, the outsider who was just trying to do her best. But as the seasons went on, cracks started to show. If you've watched the episodes closely, you know there were moments that didn't quite fit the narrative. There were times when Robyn's words didn't match her actions. In group discussions, she'd insist she wanted fairness, but then she'd have private conversations with Kody that seemed to steer decisions in her favor. Remember the Coyote Pass land debate? Robyn's insistence on what's fair always seemed to end with her getting the best deal. And when it came to the family's finances, her concerns about security and her children's future often took center stage, sometimes at the expense of the other wives' needs. The other wives started to notice too. Christine, in particular, began to voice her frustrations more openly. In one memorable episode, Christine broke down in tears, saying she felt invisible and unheard, especially when it came to decisions that affected her children. Janelle, usually the calm and collected one, started to question why Robyn's opinions seemed to carry more weight with Kody. Even Meri, who had her own complicated relationship with the family, couldn't ignore the growing sense that Robyn was playing a different game. Fans picked up on these shifts. Social media lit up with theories and debates. Was Robyn really the victim, or was she quietly pulling the strings? Twitter threads and Reddit posts dissected every episode, pointing out moments when Robyn's tears seemed to come at just the right time, or when her "I just want peace" speeches were followed by decisions that benefited her. The hashtag #Robyn Rules started trending, and viewers who once sympathized with her began to question her motives. The public image of Robyn as the peacemaker was starting to crumble, replaced by a new narrative, one where her role in the family's struggles was no longer so innocent. The other wives' suspicions were growing, and so was the audience's. The stage was set for a confrontation that would reveal just how different reality could be from what we'd been shown on TV. It was one of those episodes that left everyone glued to their screens, jaws dropped, and social media buzzing before the credits even rolled. The cameras, always rolling in the Brown household, caught something that no one expected. During what was supposed to be a routine family discussion, Robyn's guard slipped. The microphones picked up a private conversation, one that wasn't meant for the rest of the family, let alone millions of viewers. In that moment, Robyn's words were sharp, her tone different from the gentle persona fans had come to expect. She questioned the other wives' abilities to manage their own lives, made dismissive remarks about their struggles, and even hinted that Kody's decisions were more calculated than anyone realized. The impact was immediate. You could see the shock ripple through the family. Christine's face fell as she realized the depth of Robyn's true feelings. Janelle, who had always tried to keep the peace, looked completely blindsided. Meri, who had spent years trying to rebuild trust, seemed to shrink back, her expression a mix of hurt and disbelief. The tension in the room was thick, and for the first time, the cracks in the family's foundation were impossible to ignore. Viewers at home felt it too. Social media exploded with reactions. Some people were angry, others heartbroken, and many just stunned that the truth had finally come out on camera. The episode became one of the most talked about in the show's history, not just because of what was said, but because it confirmed what so many had suspected for years. The moment Robyn's private comments were exposed, everything changed. The family could no longer pretend, and neither could the audience. The truth was out, and there was no going back. The fallout from that episode was instant and impossible to ignore. As soon as the footage aired, clips of Robyn's comments started circulating everywhere: YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and even TikTok. Fans wasted no time sharing their shock and disappointment, with hashtags like #Robyn Exposed and Sister Wives Truth trending for days. People who had once defended Robyn now questioned everything they thought they knew about her. Memes, reaction videos, and heated debates took over the internet, and it felt like everyone had an opinion about what had just happened in the Brown family living room. The other wives didn't stay silent. Christine, always the most open with her feelings, posted a heartfelt message on Instagram about the pain of betrayal and the importance of honesty. Janelle, who usually kept her emotions close to the chest, shared a rare, vulnerable post about feeling blindsided and needing time to process. Meri, who had been through her own share of heartbreak, posted a cryptic quote about wolves in sheep's clothing, and fans immediately connected the dots. Their episode confessionals were raw and emotional, with each woman struggling to put into words how deeply Robyn's actions had cut. The show itself took on a new tone. TLC leaned into the drama, airing more behind-the-scenes footage and giving the wives space to share their side of the story. The family's public image, once built on the idea of unity and resilience, was now marked by division and distrust. Viewers who had watched for years to see how the Browns navigated their unique lifestyle were now tuning in to witness the fallout of a family in crisis. The direction of Sister Wives had changed, and so had the way fans saw the people at the center of it all. The truth was out, and there was no way to put it back in the box. After the episode aired, Robyn found herself at the center of a storm she couldn't control. For the first time, her tears and explanations didn't seem to sway the audience or her family. She took to Instagram Live, her voice trembling as she tried to explain that her words were taken out of context, that she was overwhelmed, and that she never meant to hurt anyone. She insisted she had always wanted peace, that she loved her sister wives, and that the cameras had caught her at her worst moment. But the comments section was relentless. Fans demanded accountability, not more apologies. Every attempt Robyn made to clear her name seemed to only make things worse. On the show, Robyn's isolation became painfully obvious. Scenes that once showed her surrounded by family now showed her alone, often in tears, struggling to make sense of what had happened. The other wives kept their distance, their conversations with Robyn tense and guarded. Even Kody, who had always defended her, seemed unsure. He tried to comfort her, but his frustration was clear. The trust that once held the family together was gone, and Robyn felt it more than anyone. The emotional toll was heavy. Robyn's children, who had always been close to her, started to pull away, confused and hurt by the backlash. Kody, caught between his loyalty to Robyn and the anger of his other wives, looked more lost than ever. The family gatherings became awkward, with long silences and forced smiles. Robyn's world, once so carefully constructed, was falling apart in front of millions of viewers. No matter how many times she tried to explain herself, the distance between her and the rest of the family only grew. The more she tried to defend her actions, the more isolated she became, both on the show and in real life. As Robyn's world grew smaller, Meri, Janelle, and Christine found their voices in a way viewers had never seen before. For years, these women had struggled to be heard, often putting their own needs aside for the sake of family unity. But after the truth about Robyn's actions came out, something shifted. On the show, you could see Meri, Janelle, and Christine start to open up in their confessionals, sharing stories of feeling overlooked, manipulated, and dismissed. Their words were honest, sometimes raw, but always real. Christine, who had already begun her journey toward independence, spoke openly about the relief she felt after leaving the marriage and how she was finally able to put herself and her children first. Janelle, who had always been the practical one, started talking about her own dreams and the importance of financial independence. Meri, who had endured years of heartbreak, began to focus on her own healing, reconnecting with friends, and rediscovering her sense of self-worth. Social media became a powerful tool for these women. Christine's posts about her new life and her happiness outside the family drew thousands of supportive comments. Janelle shared updates about her business ventures and her close relationship with her kids, inspiring other women to take control of their own lives. Meri posted about self-love, resilience, and the importance of moving forward, resonating with anyone who had ever felt stuck or unappreciated. Fans rallied around them, flooding their pages with encouragement and gratitude for their honesty. The cultural impact was huge. Viewers saw these women not just as reality TV characters, but as examples of strength and perseverance. Their willingness to speak out and reclaim their stories inspired conversations about autonomy, self-respect, and the courage it takes to walk away from unhealthy situations. The support from the audience was overwhelming, and for the first time in a long time, Meri, Janelle, and Christine stood together, not as rivals, but as women who had survived, healed, and found their own voices. In the wake of everything that happened, the Brown family was never the same. Robyn, once at the center of so much attention, found herself more alone than ever. Her relationships with the other wives, and even Kody, strained beyond repair. The show itself shifted focus, following Meri, Janelle, and Christine as they stepped into new chapters of their lives. Viewers watched as these women built stronger bonds with their children, pursued their own dreams, and supported each other in ways that felt genuine and uplifting. The story was no longer about holding together a fractured family at any cost. It became about healing, growth, and the power of starting over. Looking back, it's impossible not to feel the weight of everything the Browns went through. The betrayals, the heartbreak, and the hard truths forced everyone to confront who they really were and what they wanted from life. For fans, it was a reminder that even the most carefully crafted images can hide real pain, and that true strength comes from facing the truth, no matter how hard it is. I'd love to hear what you think. Did you see this coming, or were you surprised by how it all played out? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more honest, real talk about Sister Wives. Thanks for watching. I'm Aliva, and this is TLC's Sister Wives Secret.